The college basketball experience preview and picks episode for Saturday, February 24th. Pregame show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Game Time, your home for the lowest price last minute tickets. Download the Game Time app today. Use the promo code SGPN to get $20 off. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up today using the promo code SGPN and then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/dog to enter our bonus contest. 5 winners will receive shirts, hats, and a $50 SGPN gift card. So check it all out. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Mike Leach, head football coach at Mississippi State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience Saturday pregame show for February 24th. March Madness is knocking at the door. We're just a few days away from March. You know what that means. Shit's heating up in college hoops, and I'm excited to talk to you about all of these plays. I think today is the best Saturday. I know I say this all the time, but I think it's the best Saturday yet. I think today is the best Saturday yet. We'll see. But I think next Saturday's maybe even better. But as of right now, best Saturday of the day. Or of the year, best Saturday of the day. It's early in the fucking morning here in LA. All right. White Tiger got me up fucking early. Anyway, we're going to get all into it, but I am joined by my co-host. Well, first, I guess you're wondering who the hell you're listening to. Wait, I got to introduce myself, right? It's early. I haven't had a coffee. Have not had a coffee yet. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but nah. No, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Oh man, I need a whiskey and the coffee yet. I haven't even had the coffee. Just working with the fucking carbonated water right now. You know? Not complaining though, because the slate is fire. White Tiger's up, ready to watch the games. And yeah, I was about to introduce this guy before introducing myself, which would have been fine, but you know, I try to follow a little bit of structure in life. Give it up for the host of the NBA Gambling Podcast, the host of the WNBA Gambling Podcast. You've heard him on the NFL Gambling Podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast, and but this is where he started from, and I'm gonna own it all fucking day. Every time he comes on the show, give it up for Terrell Furman Jr., aka Really Rel. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good. Biggest Saturday of the day, huh?
I can't talk right now.
Man.
You know,
Huge
lack
Saturday
of sleep. And just haven't had the coffee. Coffee saves lives. I used to be I used to just not really drink coffee before my wife, but my wife's Colombian, so she just, that was just no way of escaping coffee all the time. and it changed my life. Changed my life. My
What? Did you just freeze? Did he just freeze? Oh, it's me. All right. Well, appreciate it, Clark, for the happy belated birthday. Hope your
All right,
birthday
here we
goes
go.
well tomorrow. Oh, there, you're back. You're back. Good. Oh, he's in the
What
Matrix.
day was your birthday, dude?
Yesterday.
Oh man, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. It was just yesterday. Still, what was that? Like a couple hours ago. It was just a couple hours ago.
What'd you do for your birthday?
I didn't do nothing. I had a parlay going for my birthday, and it was a bad beat, man. It was a bad beat, really, really bad. So I had the under in the Grizzlies and the Clippers game cashed. I had the Miami Heat as an underdog on the money line cashed. I had the Milwaukee Bucks as an underdog on the money line cashed. Last play, the Hornets plus 12 and a half. The Hornets plus 12 and a half. Last play of the game, dude goes like the last seconds, doesn't even need. He could have ran the clock out. He goes and he tries to shoot the basketball, and then Miles Bridges gets a goaltend him because they don't like how he's shooting the ball at the end of the game. They get into it. It's a whole big fight. Ends up they lose by 13 and not 12 and a half. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Do you think they knew the line?
They knew the line. 100% the Warriors knew line. 100%. Because remember earlier in the season, they had another situation where they were looking, they were like, they know the line. They knew what the line was, and they honestly just made me lose my parlay on my birthday. So, I'm not not a fan of Warriors. Not a fan of the Warriors right now.
Yeah. So some of those college games this year, I was talking off air with Noah and Mac. And I was just saying, and I have no real proof of this, but just doing the show for years, I was like, this year seems more like you see some of these times where they foul or don't foul. And I know that's always been an issue. Leonard Hamilton, Elite Eight a couple years ago, but I don't know. I just feel like they're right on it this year. And I don't know. I mean, I hate to play the X-Files music this early in the morning, but I just feel like sometimes you watch the game, you're like, what the fuck? This was a 2-point game with a 2-minute mark, and now they're gonna lose by 11. You know what I mean? Like how's that possible?
Very frustrating. They could have just ran the clock out. 24-second violation. Hornets would have ran the clock out. It'd have been over. Lose by 11. I don't know what to do sometimes, man. It's hard out here. You know what? I have a new bad beat for Sean and Ryan and VSiN this week. That is going to be the bad beat for next week.
Yeah, get on that one, man. You got to tell them that, man. On your birthday too, man. That's
like on my birthday. Oh,
that's tough.
Horrible.
I mean, to be fair, on my birthday this year, I had a horrible day in picks. I think I went like 1-6 on my locks on a college basketball slate. So maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's something to these birthdays. Dude, the slate is fire today. So wait, you get a birthday dinner in you or something?
No, I got me a birthday dinner. I did. I got me a birthday dinner. That was real good. Had a good night, but the night was tainted with the fact that when I went to go look at the end of the game, I saw the Warriors take a meaningless basket for the cover.
Yeah, that ruined the whole fucking dinner. You're out.
I'm out. I don't even like. Let's go to bed. It's time to go to bed now. Honestly, we can't even afford this dinner. We need to go get some. We can't even afford the restaurant.
We gotta run out of this tab. Gotta run. Go start the car.
Gotta go wash some dishes. Get in the back and wash some dishes because we can't go nowhere.
I mean, I feel good about today, Clark. Look, and here's the thing: even if it's rigged, there's got to be another side of it. Get on the side that's
just
rigged.
Be on the rig side.
Yeah,
just be on the rig side.
Like, you just got to be hip.
I'm fine. I'm fine with you rigging it as long as I'm on the right side. Like when you rig it, let me know. Let me know so I can play the right side. Don't leave me in the dark.
Slide into those DMs. Houston and Baylor tip off. Top 10. I mean, pretty much top 10. Baylor's number 11. Top 10 matchup. I'm just gonna say top 10 matchup.
Top 10-ish, yeah.
They're old school rivals. They haven't played in a long time. I mean, they played once in the Final Four 2 years ago, and Baylor whooped their ass. But here we are, old school Southwestern Conference rivals. Baylor is fire at home. I mean, they're 13-1 at home. Houston's 4-3 on the road, and you know my argument is this: Houston has lost at pretty much all the good Big 12 teams on the road. On the road, Houston handles their own at home, but they lost at Kansas, lost at TCU, lost at Iowa State, and they needed overtime to get past Texas and Austin. And even with that, I think Texas covered. I think Baylor's going to beat them today.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I mean, I know Langston loves that.
2-7-1 ATS on the road is Houston. 9-4-1 is Baylor. You talked about how good they are. 13-1. They're covering the line when they're a dog. They're getting it done at home, and so I think this is a really a situation where, yeah, Houston has the number one defense, but I think that offense is going to have those stretches where they can't find the ball in the basket. It may be a 5-minute shooting drought that's really, really going to kill their positioning and where they're at in this game. So yeah, all over Baylor here to get it done.
Double lock, sick 'em, as they say in Waco. The question is that the best game of the day? Because you can make an argument that there are several really good games. You know, I'd be curious if we did a poll, what people would say is the game they want to see most, because I'm just going to jump down to Alabama at Kentucky. This line has shot up overnight. This was a 1-point spread about less than 24 hours ago. It's now Big Blue Nation, Kentucky laying 3.5. And do I need to tell the people? And by the way, this is, if you keep it on CBS, if you don't have, you go from Baylor, Houston to Alabama, Kentucky. So you're fine. You're set. Alabama's only won once in Rupp since 2006. Alabama should have lost to Florida the other night. Kentucky loses at the buzzer on kind of a lucky play, but it was an awesome game in Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Rob Dillingham, in my eyes, hit a game winner. You know, I've been talking about him. I was talking about him in high school.
Nasty, dude.
I was talking about. I came in on here
nasty
in high school and told you I saw Rob Dillingham play, and he's gonna be ready for the big light. And now he is here. He's good.
You know what he should do though?
He's a top three pick easy.
I was thinking though, and maybe this is me just being stupid, but he should come back for 1 year and then go pro.
No,
he won't. He won't though, right? Because that much money is.
Go get that money now.
I just feel like he could be the best player in the nation next year.
Oh,
he could
absolutely.
be the best player in the nation next year.
He's arguably the best player in the nation right now. Arguably.
I don't know. I don't think he's there yet, but I don't think he's there yet. I love his game.
Who's the best player? Aiden?
I mean, I can't say that.
Exactly.
I mean, yes.
Seriously, who is it? And he comes off the bench. Imagine if he was starting. I mean, I don't think it matters, but like,
I think if you ran a poll, people would say Edie, or some people might even say Hunter Dickinson or something.
I know those are the players, and so if you're telling me that is those guys, give me Dillingham every single time. If you're starting a team, you're taking Dillingham over both of those guys.
I'll say if you're starting a team for the future, you would take Dillingham for sure. But there's some other there's some other really good players. I just don't know. Dillingham, I don't know if he's there every night yet. I mean, yes, he's a beast, but and I mean that A&M game was one where he just went off. Shout out to Lane Elliott who gave us $2.
Yeah, shout out to Lane
for Noah's Hooker Fund.
Vegas
my thing
Hooker
is
Fund.
consistency.
Hey,
Vegas Hooker Fund. Yeah, not this isn't a Michigan.
This isn't regular here. This is Vegas we're talking about.
But he is a fucking beast. He is an absolute beast. Trey Mitchell, by the way, is a game time decision in that game. I got Kentucky. I've already bet Kentucky. What are you doing here?
Oh, let's lock it up. This is the bounce back.
Let's go.
This is the bounce back after that LSU. How they lost LSU.
And Clark's right. He is going to be the number 2 pick, right? I mean, he should be.
I think so. I think it's going to be what's that French dude? What's his name, brother? Sarr. It's going to be Sarr, and then it's going to be Dillingham.
I just wish that's the one. My one thing is like I wish you could come back for one more year because he would be by far the best player in college basketball next year.
Yeah,
I just wish
Calipari
we could see
would probably have more rings if he could get 2 years out of his guys instead of 1.
I thought maybe the NIL, but the NBA is guaranteed money. It's not like the NFL. Like that shit. NIL helps football more than basketball.
Yeah, you're guaranteed bread.
Yeah.
As soon as you sign that contract, your
I mean,
money
look,
is coming
as much
to you
as
at
I
some
want to
point.
say I love college hoops, and if I was Rob Dillingham's father, I'd be like, go to the NBA. You know what I mean? We got to go to the NBA, son.
And I don't know, depending on who got that pick, they might say, we might go with a Dillingham at 1. Like, it depends who get it. I don't know.
Because even in the
it's a lot
NBA,
of
like
money.
even if it's a horrible team, you know, there's teams that have been horrible that stay horrible. I still think, like, fuck it, you can demand a trade, like after a year. You know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't work like that, Kobe. Not after a year,
dude. In the NBA, the players have all the power, man. Like, it's like I said, in the NFL, like, I feel like if you bitched about that, they'd be like, some franchise would be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, so I would go a million out of a million times. Unfortunately, I would go. I mean, I know Kentucky can offer you millions too, but it's not the same.
I'm just glad everybody's talking about Rob Dillingham now. It's been years in the making. I was telling them that this moment was going to happen.
I remember that. You told me
that,
a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Fuck though, man. I like
North Carolina, stand up.
Why didn't he go to Chapel Hill is the question.
Hey, let me not get people in trouble, man. I was about to say it too. You trying to get me hemmed up. And people gonna stop telling me stuff.
You're a fucking Tar Heel fan. I thought you were sitting there
about
saying,
to get me
"Come on,
up.
Rob. Chapel Hill's your home."
You was about to get me hemmed up. I was about to talk too much. Let's get on to the next game before I get in trouble.
Oklahoma's going to Oklahoma State. This is cross zero. Oklahoma State is now a favorite. Shout out to Lane Elliott. Kentucky. Oklahoma State is beating Oklahoma. They should have won in Norman 10 days ago. They are beating, and I'll be honest, Mike Boynton has Oklahoma State playing pretty good ball right now. If there's one of those 96 team tournaments Greg Sankey wants, maybe Oklahoma State gets in. I honestly, this is the last time they're ever playing in Stillwater. I mean, at least for the foreseeable future. I mean, I don't want to say ever, but Oklahoma State is going to fuck them up, I think. I'm laying the 1.5. Porter Moser and Oklahoma have been ass on the road this year. And Oklahoma State, they're gonna storm here because they know it's Oklahoma's final time, and they're not happy about that. I hit it in football, I'm hitting it in basketball, and I'm gonna hit it in baseball later this fucking spring. What are you doing here?
I think it's because how close they were in that last game at Oklahoma.
They're up majority of that game,
and that was like 2 weeks ago. Like that was very, very recent, fresh on their mind. They're gonna go and get after it. I like the line movement. I think the sharp movement is going with Oklahoma State, even though there's about a good percent of the money on Oklahoma here. I'm with you. I'm backing Oklahoma State -1.5.
How about them Cowboys? Get on over there, lock it up. I mean, the slate, just those 3 games, and I'm like bouncing around. I'm not even going that much chronologically, just because I wanted to key in on the huge games first. But speaking of rivalry games, this one doesn't bang as much as football, but it is a rivalry game. Auburn is at Georgia. Georgia and Mike Snow White needed that win against Vanderbilt so bad. They won by 12 in Nashville on Wednesday. 3-7 in their last 10. If they can there's opportunity though. You're 15-11. You are home to Auburn right now. You're at LSU, which is vulnerable. You can still win at LSU. We saw Nichols do that earlier this year. You're home to A&M. You're home to Ole Miss. And then you got to go a return game in the jungle, which I highly doubt they win. If they can take care of business and go 4-1, they'd be sitting there at 19-12. Got to win a couple games in the SEC tournament, but there's still hope. There's still hope if they can take care of business today. They're getting 7.5, I think it is. I bet Georgia. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they cover. What are you doing here?
They need that marquee game too. They need a really, really good game. But is Auburn always going to be the punching bag for teams when they need a good game? It feels like when teams need a win, Kentucky, Florida, like when they need a win, they always look at Auburn.
I mean,
yeah, give me Georgia +6.5. It's something wrong with Auburn. They're giving teams.
Auburn on the
games.
road is where you want to catch them. That's where you want to catch them, on the road.
I
Texas.
think if I like UGA, I like them early. Maybe Auburn goes on a run at the end of the game when they see this getting kind of out of hand. But
I like that angle. First half. Texas is at Kansas for the final time, and this is one I will predict. See, I still think Oklahoma might play in Stillwater in a couple years once this shit dies down over this exit to the SEC. I know Texas is a bunch of pussies with the non-con. All right, like I know they're the most they spend the most, from an athletic.
Kansas, right?
Dude, there's no way, and they're never going to play in the fog ever again. If they play, they'll say, "Let's play in Madison Square Garden. Let's play in Atlanta. Let's play in Maui." They're not going to go to the fog. Unfortunately, we're not going to see this anymore. But Kansas fans know that Kansas is going to fuck up Texas today. I am going to lay. They're going to win by double digits, in my opinion. I'm laying the. This was at 6. It's at 8.5 right now. I mean, I already bet.
You know what happened last
6,
time these
but
teams played too.
Yeah, Texas won
back in the the tournament. They whooped their ass and bounced them out of the Big 12 tournament.
Kansas is 13-0 at home. Revenge game.
They've been waiting on this all season.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this game was circled. I really believe there's not a number that's small enough. I really believe that Kansas circled this game all season of when they were finally going to get that revenge on Texas because they got embarrassed last season. They got beat by like 20 both games.
Yeah. Bill Self, he hasn't forgot that. He has not forgotten.
Yeah, they're whooping their ass today. This line isn't. No, there's not a line that you could give me where I would say it's too big. Lay the points.
Let's go. Villanova's at UConn. Huge game in the Big East. Villanova suddenly won 3 in a row, scratching and clawing their way to try to make the big dance. Kyle Neptune, I heard speculation. I don't know how much I believe in this shit, but I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I didn't hear it. That if he doesn't make the NCAA tournament, they're going to fire him. He's only in year 2. Can we be a little patient? Just one more year at least. Huge game for Nova here as they're getting 11.5. They lost by 1 to UConn earlier in the year on January 20th. Sorry, it's a bad spot for Nova. I think I'm laying the 11.5 with UConn. I think Nova's a good team. They don't normally get blown out, but it's just a bad spot to catch them after that loss to Creighton. I am laying the points with UConn. What are you doing here?
Did you see the Carpenter and his post on Twitter after the game where they was like, and it was the Game of Thrones and it was the shame. This team's locked in. I think this team is locked in. They're locked in for this one. I'm gonna lay it. I'm not gonna lock it up, but I'm gonna lay it.
I like Danny Hurley telling one of the fans in Omaha that he'll fuck you up. I really wish we could have seen that. Shout out to Durko, says need a lockdown. You walking into the casino right now? Just one lock? Fuck you doing? Colorado Buffaloes minus the points against Utah. Look, Colorado. This is a huge game. Both teams are on the bubble. Colorado is 13-1 at home, and guess what? That one loss was the last time they played at home against Arizona. Colorado is going to destroy Utah on the road. Utah is 2-6 on the road. Really should be 1-7. Got very fortunate against UCLA. I'm all over the Buffs minus the 6.5, whatever it is right now. And I will play my song. All right.
Look out, just watch him go. Look out, Buffalo. Oh no, it's a guy on a Buffalo.
What are you doing here, man?
I'm not gonna fade you after that. Buffaloes pep talk, absolutely not. I'll tell you with the Buffaloes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Look out, just watch him go. Look out, Buffalo.
We got the crosstown LA battle here. USC is at UCLA. USC disappointing season thus far, 10-16. UCLA, you could say disappointing season thus far, but at least 14-12, and they've showed signs of life. They are 8-2 in their last 10, and probably should be 9-1 if it wasn't for that crazy Utah putback. I'm on UCLA minus the points. I just USC is too inconsistent for me. I think UCLA is the better team, but you know.
Do we have to bet this game? Can we just not?
Yeah, you
Can we
can.
leave
You can
both
say
teams
pass.
alone?
Pass.
No, I'm gonna for a pick. I'll give UCLA, but don't bet this game. Don't bet either one of these two teams. Both of these two teams are a fade in my eyes. They're not consistent enough. You don't know what you're getting night in, night out.
Butler is catching 3.5 or 4. Shop around at Seton Hall. Man, Butler's lost 3 in a row. You can see them falling out of the NCAA tournament race if they don't pick up a key win. And guess what happened? Seton Hall upset them in Hinkle back on January 13th. Can Butler get revenge? I say so. Give me the points. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
You don't sound very confident with that one.
I'm not taking the points. I'm laying it. You're wild. You took the points?
I did. I just feel like everyone's going to be on Seton Hall. Everyone's going to be on Seton Hall.
Yeah. For good reasons too. Butler's kind of Nah, I'm taking Seton Hall -1.5. I'm not going to lock it up though.
Let's go to the ACC. A couple huge games in the ACC today.
A real conference.
Duke is at Wake
out of
Forest.
all the Power Fives, quote unquote Power Fives, ACC only won in Final Four last year. Moneyline Mac won't tell you that. He'll go and give you some Big 12 propaganda or whatever that the Big 12 is the best conference, but yet they never really do anything except that one time Kansas won. Yeah.
Baylor once too, but yes.
I mean, we that was a while ago. We're not talking about that.
Duke is at Wake Forest. I mean, Steve Forbes has been building for this. I find this to be one of the most fascinating games of the day. Wake Forest is 14-0 at home. This is it, man. You win and you're in. You win and you're fucking in. I'm with you. Get on over there. Wake Forest play it with the Demon Deeks. They get it done against Duke. Revenge game. Duke got them by what? I feel like 10 back in 2 weeks ago or something. Oh man, that's a fantastic game. Now, I know you're a North Carolina fan, and I'm really intrigued by what you're doing here.
I don't know, man. I good luck. They never win here.
But that's what I was gonna say. They are 3-9 in general against Tony Bennett in their last 12, including 0-8 in Charlottesville. They haven't won in Charlottesville since 2011. I don't even think I think Tony Bennett might have been at Washington State then. I'm just gonna go ahead and trust that trend. This is the
ultimate bounce back spot after losing to Tech. As I came on here and said that Tech was gonna whoop their ass. Yes,
we both did. I thought it was a bad spot for you.
Horrible spot. So they had a whole week to sit on that. They sat on that for a while. Oh, this is Tony Bennett's gonna have them ready to play. I don't know how UNC is going to do it offensively today, but Tony Bennett's going to have them ready to play.
I agree. I'm on the Wahoos. Let's go. 2 huge games in the ACC. There's some other games in the ACC that actually have some implications. Boston College is at NC State. NC State's laying 4.5 or 4. Last night on the show, I took NC State, but I didn't bet it. But this morning I woke up, White Tiger got me up a little early. I was bored and decided to bet on the Pussy Pack. I think NC State's beating Boston College today by more than 4. So it's gross. Man. It's gross.
White Tiger made you do that.
White Tiger made me do it.
I think you wanted to do it. I think you wanted to do it, and you blame it on your kid.
What are you doing here?
That's what I think. I'm not taking NC State.
Virginia Tech's at Pitt. Huge game. Huge fucking game. If Pitt wants any chance of making the postseason, Pitt's laying 2.5. I bet Pitt too. I'm going chalk on these ACC. Look, these ACC plays.
It's a letdown. On the road at Pitt. Yes. You just destroyed Virginia. It's a letdown. I'll admit it. I'm not gonna see. You see, I'm a good fan. I see things and I call out the bullshit when it's there. And this is bullshit. Honestly, Virginia Tech probably should be laying points on the road. The fact that they're not tells me all of what the line means. Pitt's gonna win.
I agree. Florida State's getting 10 at Clemson. One of the harder games I thought today. I'm taking the points though. Daryl Golson is with White Tiger. I mean, Florida State, I just can't take Clemson laying 10 under Brad Brownell. I cannot do that. Give me Florida State plus 10. Florida State's been all over the place this year. They're fucking losing Lipscomb. They beat good teams. It's really hard to do, but give me the Seminoles. What are you doing here?
Yikes! I'll take the 10. I don't like it, but the line really should have. Yeah. Oh no, I don't. Nah, Florida State really sucks, man.
You're laying it. You're not betting. It sounds like you're
not
betting this game.
I'm not betting it. Give me Clemson. I'm not betting it. I cannot lay that number with Clemson, but Florida State does actually suck, and they're probably bad enough to actually not cover this line.
Notre Dame's at Syracuse. Mac locked this game up. I'm not touching this fucking game. I took Notre Dame plus the 7. No bet. But what are you doing here? Mac feels like Notre Dame is a great spot.
Plus the 7. 7 and a Syracuse. I'm gonna take Notre Dame.
Penn State.
Notre Dame loses by 4. Notre Dame loses by 4 because something about Syracuse just still doesn't sit right with me. Like I prefer them as a dog. I don't really want them laying these amount of points. If I catch them when teams are underrating them and they can go out there and play, I like Syracuse like that. I really don't like laying points with Syracuse. So Notre Dame plus 7.5. I know it's ugly.
Indiana has been ass all year, especially on the road. Their 2 wins are against Michigan and Louisville. Wait, actually, no. I caught myself in an incorrect stat. If you just look at the schedule sometimes, you see that they marked that game against Louisville as an away game when really that was played at Madison Square Garden. So it's tricky. So they beat Ohio State and Michigan. Both teams aren't very good this year. Penn State, though, has defended home court well. Mike Rhodes, year 1 after coming over for VCU. They're laying 4.5. The slide's crept up a little bit. It was 2.5. I'm on Penn State. What are you doing here?
Oh my gosh. It's so easy though, right? It's way too easy to say Penn State. That's the only issue. That's the only issue that I have. I think it's Penn State too. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's Penn State by like 15. Yeah. But because I don't think Indiana's going to be able to score at all. But it feels really it is a tricky easy, man.
It's a tricky spot. BYU is at Kansas State. This I've already bet. Kansas State's going to beat them today. Kansas State's in an absolute desperate spot. BYU's been ass on the road away from the Super Soaker, and Jerome Tang in Manhattan. They got magic still in there. You know, what's he undefeated in overtime games? I just like that spot. I think Kansas State's in a truly desperate spot. I am loading up on the Wildcats and I'm getting 1.5. Let's go. What are you doing here?
And the fact that BYU's coming off of the Baylor win.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Letdown City, going back on the road. They just went on the road. OK State and Oklahoma both L's.
Can I interest you in a Wildcat parlay?
Yeah.
Kansas State beats BYU, and Arizona got upset by Washington State the other night, and Washington got very fortunate to beat Arizona in overtime. I'm sorry, Arizona State in overtime. Now they got to go to Tucson. I'm laying the 16 or 15.5, whatever the fuck it is. Shop around.
I will see your Wildcat parlay, and I'll add you one more leg.
Woo!
Kentucky.
Ooh, and yeah. You know what's now that I think about it, I think I took Weber State too.
Uh-oh.
We have 4 Wildcats right there.
Who they play?
Weber State is taking on Idaho State and laying 2.
Okay.
I know it's obscure. but
It's
Idaho State.
It's off the beaten path, but I like it.
You're talking 4 Wildcats. Parlay this fucking thing. See you at the winner's circle. I just gotta talk. East Carolina has been playing much better basketball. They're going to take on Rice. We were on Rice upsetting UAB the other night as a 12-point dog. But Rice is horrible at home. They're 5-8 at home. No one goes to their games. A bunch of private school pussies. ECU's hot right now. So money is to be made, especially catching Rice off of a huge win.
And may the Schwartz be with you.
Get over there. Bet those Pirates. It's just sitting there for you. Take them in baseball too. You can do an ECU parlay, baseball and basketball. Thank me later. Do I even need to ask you, or did you already bet ECU?
I'm telling you, I'm not gonna leave you out there by yourself, man. I'm not gonna leave you out there by yourself. ECU, the whole chat's on ECU. Everybody's on ECU.
Let's go. Let's go. We have a huge game in the mid-major ranks in the state of North Carolina. Gardner-Webb's at UNC Asheville. The top 3 schools in the Big South. High Point, Asheville, Gardner-Webb. The state of North Carolina is saying this is our fucking conference. This line's gone up overnight a couple points. Gardner-Webb beat them on January 31st by 7. I think Asheville gets revenge. I wouldn't go much higher though at 4.5. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with Asheville in this one. It's 4.5.
4.5. Went up 2 points overnight.
Oh, yeah. I think I'll.
I think they win by 5. I mean, it's gonna be a good game. I think. Yeah. West Virginia's at Iowa State. Iowa State's laying 18.5. Lay it.
Lock it up.
We probably should bet that. We probably should bet that.
We should bet it.
Let's go. Huge game in the Big Ten. Iowa's at Illinois. Iowa's getting 9.5. Iowa just won at Michigan State. They're showing signs of life. They're fighting for their postseason lives here. Illinois coming off of the court storming loss in State College. I think Illinois is going to win the game, but I will take the 9.5 with Iowa. I think Iowa can hang around just enough, make it a game. What are you doing here?
Oh man, I'm over here. Mid parlay. Putting in mid parlay. I'm sorry.
Mid Wildcat parlay. I caught you mid Wildcat parlay.
All right. Hey man, it's hard, man. You gotta get the playoff to your parlay dealer while you're trying to do the show. The Wildcat parlay came up. I just had another parlay that I made that I like. We're firing bets off here. Give me Iowa plus 9.5. I don't feel good about this Illinois team. It's something that's not clicking there for me, where I feel comfortable laying a big number with them night in, night out. And Iowa needs a good road performance. Like even if they don't win, they need a really, really good road performance.
There's nothing worse than doing the Saturday morning show and giving out a parlay, and because you're recording, you don't get it in, and the game starts at 9 a.m.
Oh no, I'd be trying to
9 a.m. Pacific. Yeah.
See, I'd be here on the phone. Like, let me go ahead. We just talked about the Wildcat parlay.
Ignore the fucking listeners. Will Brown says, what was that parlay? The parlay was Kansas State, Arizona, Kentucky, and Weber State.
Wildcat parlay. I also just put in one. Baylor money line, Virginia money line, Wake Forest money line, Kansas minus 8.5, and Kansas State on the money line.
Woo. I like a little Wake
20
Forest
20-1 action, a little 20-1 action in 5 games. You just got to hit 5 games out of 137 games. Just hit 5, and that's 20-1.
About a little North Carolina parlay: Wake Forest, NC State, ECU. See, we're getting creative here.
Okay.
St. Bonaventure's
that one is ugly enough that the parlay could hit. You got to have that one ugly leg that you kind of don't feel good about, but you think could hit.
St. Bonaventure's at UMass. It's a pretty big game in the A-10. You know, I know you say, oh, UMass in 5th, but they're like a game out of 1st. So UMass is laying 4.5. The Bonnies caught them on February 7th. I think it's a revenge spot. I like laying the points with Frank Martin and UMass. What are you doing here?
Yeah, like UMass is going to bounce back, and Bonnie's on the road. Nothing really to write home about. I really think that this St. Bonaventure team is a little overrated this season compared to previous years. Yeah, all over the UMass right here.
Hunter in the chat asked if White Tiger is on the Cougs of Charleston today, as they're at Towson. 100%. That's one of the better plays. I like that play a lot. Remember, Towson upset Charleston in Charleston. Now Charleston returns the favor in Towson, Maryland. I like it. It's a short number still, I think. And I like a bunch of these plays coming up. I have not bet this game yet. Mac insists I should bet Cincinnati because they've been good on the road, but I'm reluctant to do so. I will take TCU minus the 4.5. No bet though. What are you doing here?
I'll lock up TCU.
Yeah, I feel like TCU.
I'm fading. This is a pure fade of Cincinnati. Pure fade of Cincinnati. I'm surprised you didn't lock this up. I thought you would have.
I thought the line was a little short. I thought it should have been more like 7.
Home. TCU at home. But TCU has like been TCUing recently. I understand why it's 5. I'm fading. I'm fading. And no, that was Xavier's coach. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
South Carolina's at Ole Miss. This one I did bet. Ole Miss. I'm sorry, Lamont Paris. You're in a bad spot. It's a bad spot to catch Ole Miss. They just lost to Mississippi State. They have now lost. I think they're 4-6 in their last 10. They are fighting for their postseason life. We know South Carolina's in. I'm sorry. Ole Miss is going to win. I'll lay the 3.5. The pavilion's gonna be rocking today. Ole Miss is 14-1 at home. They only lost by 3 in Columbia earlier. Revenge spot as well. What are you doing here?
Well, I agree with everything you say. I'm not going to lock it up because South Carolina has been in business for the majority of this season of taking all of those good points and making you eat shit. Because the team
they won at Tennessee.
Because they're just that good.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense, but I'm not betting against the South Carolina team. So I really do think that Ole Miss really should win the game. It's a great spot for them, but I can't put money on it. So I like Ole Miss. I'm not going to bet them.
Yeah, Fallon Iverson says not sold on Ole Miss. Yeah, I mean I'm not either. I don't think they're a great team. I just think they have to get this one. They have to get this one, and I think the fact that Beard. And here's another thing. I like Chris Beard in game 2 of, if you lost the first one or just the fact he's such a great defensive coach. Now I know Ole Miss's defensive numbers are not where Chris Beard coach teams were at Texas or Texas Tech, but he's great at adjustments. I mean, Lamont Paris is proven to be a really good hire too. We'll see if he can counterbalance that, but I just think it's a spot. So Texas Tech, Chris Beard's old school is at UCF. Moneyline Mac, who's pretty fire on his Big 12 picks. He likes UCF here. I followed him, but no bet. What are you doing here?
I guess I'll take UCF, but I'm not going to bet it either. I think both of these two teams are pretty much even. And UCF really does need to win, but 2-5 on the road for Texas Tech as well. Pretty far road trip going down to Central Florida. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take UCF.
UC Irvine is at UC San Diego. What? Why are we talking about? Oh, they're the top 2 teams in the Big West right now. And Irvine clipped San Diego by 11 back on January 18th.
I did not have this on my bingo card.
I got Irvine completing the sweep, even though UC San Diego. What's happening with the city of San Diego?
Are you locking them? Are you locking that?
Irvine, yes.
Oh, you are? All right, let's
battle.
I'll battle you.
You're with Mac. Mac's on San Diego.
Yeah, how about him? San Diego's gonna get it.
San Diego's the look. This is a program that kudos to them. They've come up from the D2 ranks, but Irvine, it's a culture play. See you on the gridiron, Dundee, riding with the Anteaters. Moneyline Mac, Terrell Furman, riding with the Tritons of UC San Diego.
Take the over. Take the over. Final
Like
score, both teams in the 80s.
I can see it. George Mason just stormed the court. They're at Loyola Chicago. Loyola's laying 3.5. This is a lock. This is one of my favorite plays of the entire day. Loyola is winning by double digits. George Mason just stormed the court. What, 72 hours ago? No. It's a bad spot. Bad spot for Mason. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me Chicago.
Let's go. We got a rivalry game going on in the great state of Iowa. Drake is at Northern Iowa.
Ooh.
Drake won by 14 on January 27th in Des Moines, but now they go to Cedar Falls, where Northern Iowa is 9-3 at home. This was a lock between a battle between Rob Donaldson and Moneyline Mac. Moneyline Mac's on Northern Iowa. Donaldson's on Drake. I'm staying away, but give me Northern Iowa for my money. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm staying away as well, but I actually lean Drake. I think Drake gets it done on the road.
I got to ask you this game or I wouldn't be doing my job. The people out there want to know. Where does President Biden wants to know? Georgetown at DePaul. Hoyas are laying 4.5. I thought the line should have been 8 personally. I thought it should have been Georgetown -8. Paranoid, but give me the Hoyas. Come on, Ed Cooley. Don't lose this fucking game. What are you doing here?
It sounds so nasty when you say laying 4.5. Like it sounds really, really disgusting. And I'm actually like crawled up into a ball right now because you gotta take the Hoyas. You gotta take the Hoyas, even though I know you gotta take the
line
Hoyas.
Stinks though, but you gotta. You just gotta. I mean, look, DePaul's on their interim head coach. I feel like the team could have quit. I know Robert Martin. Shout out to Robert Martin. He's saying, "Take RuPaul. Let's fucking go."
At least Georgetown looked competent against St. John's.
You gotta take the Hoyas.
That means that they're finally getting hot.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to take Georgetown. I might even bet this.
Whoa, you're wild. I'm not gonna bet this.
Davidson is at Richmond. I think Moneyline Mac will be at this game if anyone's going. Man, Richmond's 12-1 at home. This line's a little short too.
This is a lock.
Richmond minus the points.
Yes, Richmond. Yes, it's Richmond. They're gonna beat the shit out of Davidson. They're probably gonna win this game by 12-13. Davidson has nothing for them.
I thought this line should be higher though. It's kind of like the Georgetown game, but I'm with you. Give me Richmond.
Yeah, Davidson doesn't have anything for Richmond now.
I'll
They're
play
coming off the Fordham win.
No lock for me. Lock for you. Let's go. You want to lock? This is Marshall's beating Appalachian State today.
Yep, I agree.
Upset in Huntington.
Sunbelt.
Give me the Thunder and her. Yeah, give me the Thunder and her. What's it, plus 220? I think something like that. Oregon is at Cal. Mark Madsen doing a good job in Berkeley. I'm going to take Cal +2. No lock, but I know once again, Moneyline Mac did bet this. He likes Cal. Your thoughts on this one?
Is this just us fading Oregon? Like, do y'all really think Cal, like?
I do think Cal's better than their record. You see 12-15. They have lost some heartbreakers.
We were on Cal last week, and I think that was a good spot to back Cal. Why do I want to back Cal getting 1.5? Like last week when we were talking about Washington, it was +7.5. It felt great. It felt amazing. Of course, like they won the game outright. Like it felt really, really good. 1.5. I'm not backing Cal at 1.5. last time the line was this short, they lost. And so UCLA at that, even though that was a close game. I'm taking Oregon. I think you guys are just fading Oregon.
I mean, I'm not betting that game, but I am betting this game. Boise State's laying 8 in Wyoming. No. Give me Wyoming. This is a possible money line play. Laramie's a different animal. You know what I mean? Wyoming's ass on the road. Boise. This is kind of a rivalry game, so I'll take the 8. What are you doing here?
Ooh, yeah, I'll back a home dog.
Colorado
I think Boise's
State
going to win. I think Boise is going to win, but they win by 4.
Colorado State's at UNLV. UNLV's laying 1.5. I will take the Rams to win on the road. UNLV's been ass at home. They've lost to Southern. They've lost to Air Force. They lose to Colorado State. What are you doing here?
I think it's just because UNLV's not that good. Kind of off the New Mexico game. Yeah, I'm gonna back Colorado State.
Let's take those Rams. I already bet that. Let's go. Let's jump in on that. By the way, Indiana State's gonna fuck. Indiana State's gonna fuck up UIC today. You want some free money? Lay the 15 with Indiana State. They're gonna win.
Is Indiana State just an auto bet at this point?
Yes, I think Indiana State is just gonna fuck up UIC today.
It'd be 13, 14, 15, and I really don't be concerned. I just lay it.
We got 100 miles of hate. Western Kentucky heads to Middle Tennessee. Western Kentucky's laying 3.5. I have made a fortune on Western Kentucky this year, but I am fading them here because the rivalry. Middle Tennessee is pretty always pretty good at home. Give me the Blue Raiders against Western Kentucky. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm fading. I'm taking Western Kentucky.
I'm
not gonna switch it up now. I know it's a rivalry game. I'm not gonna switch it up now.
Here's the one. Washington State. And I love Washington State. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
First place in the Pac-12. First place in the final season of the Pac-12. They just won in Tucson. And now they got to take on a 13-14 Arizona State team that we know is way more talented than their record.
They're going to look past them. They're looking past
Dude, Arizona State's winning this on the money line, man.
Yeah,
I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Bobby Hurley.
Washington State's not running away with. They're not running away with the Pac-12.
Sun Devils money line, unfortunately. Jump on it. Texas A&M's at Tennessee. A&M's getting 11.
Buzz is a dog.
I'm on it. I actually think they're live. I think it's going to be like a 2-possession game.
Yeah, it's Buzz is a dog.
Let's go.
I don't even you can't question it. You just back it, and it's going to win you more than you lose.
Santa Clara knocked off Gonzaga earlier this year, and they stormed the court. It was on Steve Nash night. He was back in the house. Gonzaga is now hosting Santa Clara at the Kennel. Gonzaga's laying 13.5. Zags winning by 20.
Really?
They're not going to let Santa Clara get a sweep. I mean, I know that.
No, they're not going to get a sweep. But who says that they're that much better than them?
I do.
I thought. Hold on. I guess.
The Kennel's
There's some pause there. I'm not locking that. I can't lay 14.5 with this Gonzaga team.
Bryant is at Vermont. System play. Lay the 8.5 with Vermont. Trust the system. The system. What else do we got? Let's give away one more before we do our parlay. Let's go to the likes of Georgia Tech is at Miami. Oh man, this game. Miami's laying 8.5. Kind of need to know who's playing for Miami with Matthew Cleveland and Nigel Pack game time decisions, but
it doesn't really matter to me. Give me Georgia Tech plus whatever.
I'm with you. I'm taking Georgia Tech.
It really doesn't matter. They could have a full assortment. This is the games that Georgia Tech come out of nowhere and actually hoops and gives these teams trouble. Georgia Tech plus the money.
Let's fucking go. Okay, look, let's get out of here on a parlay. We gave away the Wildcat parlay. I gave away a North Carolina parlay. Round robin parlay. 5 teams.
Are we doing
Is the
plus
magic
money?
number.
Everybody plus money?
Oh, you want to get a little crazy and do fucking plus money 5-team parlay?
All right. So Arizona State.
Arizona State, definitely check that. I know you didn't say Butler, right? You're not with me on Butler in Seton Hall. Okay, Arizona
please.
State, Colorado State's plus 1.5. So I mean,
it's
not much, but
let's see.
Wyoming.
We can go Virginia.
I like Virginia.
Plus 2.5,
Arizona
plus
State,
120.
Virginia. Do you like Wyoming at plus 250 or? What
Sure,
else
why
did
not?
we get? Oh, Marshall. No, we both agreed on Marshall.
Yeah.
Plus 210. So Arizona State, Virginia, Marshall, maybe Wyoming. Hang on. What about?
Scrolling to see what other dogs I really like. No, I don't want to get there on UGA. I don't want to do that.
What Kansas State's getting 1.5. It's a short dog.
I'd rather take Baylor getting 2.5.
Yeah. Okay. Add Baylor to the 4th leg, and the 5th leg.
5th leg, just in case they completely shit the bed. Maybe Texas A&M.
Do a round robin too.
Yeah, don't put that on the regular. Just in case.
So you trust A&M more than Wyoming, because I think Wyoming might be the better play than A&M.
We can go Wyoming. Just something, something spicy at the end.
Wyoming. So once again, to repeat this, Wyoming, that's 1. Marshall, 2. Arizona State, 3. Baylor, 4. Who's the 5th team?
Say Arizona State, Baylor,
Virginia. Virginia's the 5th team. Yeah. Get on in on that, folks. In fact,
let me see if you parlay it all. Hold on. Dang, I really think UC. I might have to bet UC San Diego today. The more I look at that game, the more I want to bet it. All right. Dang, I can't find anything. Where's the stuff?
Yeah, hang on.
It's got 137 games. Okay, here we go. Wyoming, and then Arizona
That's the game
State.
I can't find.
And then wait, what was our last one? What am I missing? I had Arizona State, Wyoming, Virginia, Baylor,
Marshall. Yeah.
There we go. Thunder and Herds on the money line. That parlay, if all the teams win, 157-1.
Let's go.
Oh man, round robin by 2s. Well, round robin by 3s, 2s and 3s, however you want to do it.
Let's fucking go. Just got it in right now, folks. That's it. That's our show. Enjoy an awesome day. We're back tonight talking college basketball. I'm also on the Sports Grid. What time am I on? Like 1? Hold on.
I'm on Sports Grid too. Well, not Sports Grid. I'm on VSiN. I'm on VSiN today. What time am I on VSiN? I'm on VSiN at 11:15 Pacific. So what's that? 2:15.
2:15. I am on VSiN. So catch Terrell at 2:15. I'm on VSiN at 4:30 before that Nova Villanova game. And then I'm also on the grid at 1:25. So let's go, folks. Give Terrell Furman a follow on Twitter at reallyrail__. And make sure you check out the NBA Gambling Podcast, the WNBA Gambling Podcast. He does great fucking work. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. The College Basketball Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. We'll be back tonight talking all this crazy action. Enjoy, kick ass, all that good stuff. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Check out the college football experience, the college baseball experience. Noah Beanick's doing great work there. Yeah, check out all that stuff. Until next time, folks, this is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Run and shoot.